Okay, I'll take you to the tabulation room, which is where all the fun stuff happens. Oh, I better get my mask. So another important point. Oops, I got to get my key for this. Another important point is that people may not realize until they think about it is that typically, you know, election night, people get their popcorn and sit around the TV and wait for those election results to come in. The election results that'll be coming in this year will be much less conclusive than they have been in previous years, because we will have such a large proportion of vote by mail ballots that it just won't be as meaningful. So it'll be a couple weeks before we have you know, certified results. And if you imagine if we were to get say 50,000 ballots in the last week, that might take a while to get those processed, as you might imagine. Absolutely. So I'm going to flip. Let's see if I can flip the camera around here. All right. So this isn't the thing that you heard so much about in the meeting. This is a high-speed tabulator. So when we have removed the ballots, you do this. Sorry to. So when we remove the ballots from their certification envelope, this device will process them at hundreds a minute, rather than the thing that you go to when you vote personally and it takes a couple seconds to, you know, digest it. This device will do hundreds in a minute. And then this is not as beautiful, but it's been quite the hub of activity the past few days. This is where the results from around the county come together, and where the results are displayed on the website. So it all comes to these computers here. It's consolidated, and then it's piped up to the website where you see the results.
So how many people will be working together in this room come November 3rd?
A lot. A lot of people.
It feels like it could be bigger, or, you know, more weight or something.
Well, you know, we so those are windows there. So we open those blinds so these people can see if they can't get in. But and this is some of the supplies that we have yet to put in storage. That's several thousand masks and some other stuff. But that's, if you look down there, you see more boxes.
Wow.
We have we're sticking them everywhere we can find a place.
And that's PPE for polling staff, election judges.
Yes, exactly right. Yep.
Okay.
And we'll have a small supply of masks for the public in general. So if they show up and they come in there and they've forgotten their mask at home or in the car, we'll have a small amount of them available for the public.
Oh, okay.
Now I'm going down the hallway where the big fancy machine is. I'm reminded of the what is it, Monty Python, in The Meaning of Life, when they talked about the machine that goes bing. So this is that, and the most expensive machine in the hospital. So let me turn it around here if I can.
Oh,
so
wow.
This is the Agilis by Runback, and
very cool.
We're doing some testing and calibration and whatnot
So then those little chutes where the paper it was coming out, are those the bundles you were talking about earlier where it sort of sorts them?
I had a little trouble hearing you there. What's that?
These little chutes here, you know, on the back, on the second portion of the machine, are those the bundles that you were talking about earlier where it sorts ballots into groupings?
Yeah. And then you see a label comes out of here, and that label identifies that bundle, and so that we can go back and we can reference individual ballots by use of that
Okay, I'm looking at the floor now. Oh, there's the labels.
Yeah, so there's some of those other labels with our Vanna White Deborah Nieto. There you go.
Yeah, good mom. That is much bigger than I had anticipated it being. That's quite impressive.
It's bigger than I thought it was too, to be honest. I thought it was about the size of a conference table. I guess it would be a really big conference table, but it's fairly large.
That's quite large. So then if all those chutes were filled up with ballots, how many ballots could be stored on that little sort of conveyor belt at one time? Do you know? The random bit of trivia, but
so that's a decision. We're gonna have to figure out how many we want to put in a bundle, so to speak, in one sort of logical unit. And then the idea would be that we would, you know, box those somehow, identify them with these tags, and then store them on a rack somewhere until it's time to actually count them. Because this doesn't count them. This doesn't count the ballots. That was that other machine that we saw a minute ago. This just takes the picture. Let me get one of the. So this takes a picture. This is where the signature would be. And here's the barcode that identifies you, and then here's a person's name.
Well, I guess.
But that's how we identify it, and that image then is sent off to people who will be doing the signature verification, comparing it to our reference records from voter registration data.
Oh, okay. So that's not all done within the system. It's just scanning it to send it then to be reviewed by
a human
person.
Yes, right. There are some that you can get that will attempt to do automated signature verification, but I don't have the confidence in that, and frankly, many don't have that kind of confidence in those systems. So we're going to do the manual signature verification.
So essentially what this machine is doing is simply, it's sort of like a big fax machine in a way that it sort of scans every ballot and uploads a picture then for them to be reviewed.
It's right. It scans the envelope of the ballot to be reviewed. It also checks the weight. Does it check the thickness?
Yeah, it checks the thickness for doubles. It checks the height and length to make sure it's not some weird custom-made envelope or something like that.
Yeah, so that it's not some different sort of envelope, so that people stick two ballots in there, or a ballot and a chicken leg, I don't know, and try to mail it to us.
So am I witnessing one of the first sort of tests of the machine, or have you guys been testing it periodically just with blank ballots?
So this week it was installed. It was shipped to us on last Friday, installed on Monday, and today we're going through the calibration and the testing. We start training tomorrow, and there you have it.